Going live and we're live.
All right.
There are no viewers because we are 8 minutes late.
We can still post the link on Twitter and share it, and people can view the show after or trickle
Go
in.
for it. Yeah. Um, so
Oop,
let's see.
Let me
Where
mute
did
the
my
YouTube.
Okay. So, hello everybody and welcome to the Neato Kino Movie Club. Tonight we are discussing Synchronic, directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. And according to IMDb, uh, it says Synchronic is about two New Orleans paramedics' lives are ripped apart after they encounter a series of horrific deaths linked to a designer drug with bizarre otherworldly effects. And I'm not playing the trailer tonight because it's super casual because it's just two of us and I have too much stuff going on. So I couldn't prepare properly, which is the story of this show. So anyway, go ahead and introduce yourself. Everyone knows who I am, so well, I assume.
I'm Chris, also known as Cinematic Chris. You can find me on Twitter as OG Cinematic Chris. I am primarily a film writer. I do screenwriting and film critic, and I'm also a film critic on the side for Pop Horror News.
Awesome. I've written for them once. Did I? Maybe not.
I think you and I think you and a couple of my editors are mutual friends. We've
Yeah,
definitely written about you before
yeah, I know
for
I've
Women
been
in Horror
on
Month.
there. I don't know if I've written for it, but I know I've been on there.
Well, it's a
Okay,
great
so
site.
anyway, yeah. Um, about the movie. So what'd you think?
I liked it, but I'm super biased. Like I said in chat when you proposed this, I'm a big Benson Moorhead fan, so I was psyched to see their latest project, especially seeing more big named actors attached to it.
Yes. I was surprised. I saw Bill Oberst Jr. in the end.
Oh, where was he?
He got exploded.
Oh, he was the
I'm pretty sure
slaver?
that was him. Huh?
That he was the slaver?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure that was him. Hold on, let me check.
I
Make sure
believe
I'm not.
kinda.
Yeah. Well, he says
Yeah,
he's the
as the looter.
hunchback looter. Yeah. Yeah. I worked with him once. That was
Oh,
fun.
I've
Actually, I
heard
didn't
good
really
things
work
about
with
him.
him. I was sick that day, and he sent me a video of him saying hi. So
Oh, that's sweet of him.
I actually have the video, I think, on one of my vlogs on here. Anyway, uh, back to the movie. So, what do you think it was about? I know it
Oh,
has like a whole lot to it.
yeah, that's the being Benson and Moorhead, there's always a lot to digest.
Hmm.
I'm glad I watched this earlier, so I've got time to mentally digest and think it over. Um, I think in the end, it's kind of a repetition of the classic Benson and Moorhead themes I've noticed. Life is kind of largely out of our control, but the
Okay.
greatest thing about being human is that we struggle and try and help each other against that.
Mm.
How about you?
You know, it has so much. Like, I feel like there's kind of a drug message in a
Yeah,
way. Like, like I mean, obviously, because it's very strongly about drugs and stuff and how they can control you. But then it's like they control or they change your brain. It's kind of like I don't know. That's how I felt. It was more like about kind of like an anti-drug message, but not like
not explicitly.
not like dare like this is your brain on drugs kind of thing, but um it's just like kind of toying with the the blurred lines of what's okay and stuff, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I also noticed it kind of wanted to recontextualize time travel.
Mhm.
Um there was I mean, I've been researching time travel a lot lately for a Star Trek essay I'm writing. Uh And a lot of time travel stories come down to a grass is always greener mentality, and this movie plays that up heavily. Both of the men are deeply envious of each other. You know, one's jealous
Yeah.
of the other living a single life, bachelor life, partying and doing drugs into his 40s, and the other's jealous because he's got wife, kids, house, the American dream.
Mm. It also touches on racism,
Oh,
especially
big time.
because he goes back in time to like all those periods where it's just shit if you're not white.
Yeah.
Like it's just absolutely horrible. And like I just loved how in the bar scene he's just like, why would you want to go to the past? It's like it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, literally the only times he's accepted are the present and spoilers when he goes to the Ice Age.
Yeah. But do you think that that's also a point like that the directors are kind of trying to make is that maybe now is not necessarily as bad as it could be? Or do you think that they're saying something else for the present?
Think it could be interpreted both ways. There I think the great thing about the directing writing duo is they love to leave it up to interpretation. I
Mm,
think it could be that it's the best it's ever been. It could also be that we're on a downward spiral.
mm, very good point. I think I agree with it. If we are going on a downward spiral to like maybe going back to the past because of the comments that they make in it about how the past is stupid. Why would you want to go back to that stuff?
Exactly. And the poster, you've seen the poster, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's falling through like a disassembling world with pictures of each time period on each segment.
Yeah, yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
that visual imagery kind of supports that theory.
Yeah. Um, so what was the most disturbing aspect of this film to you?
Um, oof, this was hands down the most disturbing uh Benson Moorhead film, ironically. Even more so than Resolution, and I'm a guy who deals with chronic pain and had to go through withdrawal off of opiates twice, and even Resolution was easier than this. Uh, but the two big things for me, my first major note in my notes here is life really sucks for Mackey's character.
Yeah.
Cancer, his friend is caught up in his own shit. Uh, I'm gonna leave out this third part because it's the second thing, and then spoilers for the very end of the movie. He's just ditched and left in the southern U.S. in the tail end
Mm,
of the Civil War.
yeah.
So even if he had enough chemo to survive the cancer, he's still a black man
Yep.
in the antebellum South
God,
in the
yeah.
Civil War.
Also, did you notice that there's like a tie-in, like it kind of like takes it on another level. Like that part was like with the dog, like how they mimicked each other in their fade out. Like the dog is watching him, and
Yeah,
final goodbye, and then his final goodbye is like he's just being treated like a dog, even though he's not really because it's not on purpose. It's just like the timing didn't work out. But
but it's also they're props to serve another. So there's
mhm,
definitely the parallels.
yeah,
And on that note, numero dos, the temporarily displaced dog, aka the
oh,
most heartbreaking scene of the film.
I cried. I almost turned off the movie. I was like, screw you, Marcelo, for ever suggesting this movie because like you are not allowed to take any more movies that make me cry. Just stop.
Oh,
This
it
is probably
was
the worst time for me to watch a movie where there's anything emotional for like animals happening because I just bought the horse. So it's just
yeah.
like really
Oh, and yeah, it's just sad and terrifying because he doesn't have enough of the drug to even have a chance to
Yeah,
get it back.
I think he could have gone back to get the dog.
But he would have been limited in his experiments to get it right to get the daughter, Brianna,
Yeah,
back.
maybe.
So,
He wouldn't have known like that there's a time limit. But at the same time, I wouldn't have risked the dog. I would have risked something else. Like a
exactly.
cat.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
get like a pigeon or something.
yeah. It's like if the dog just looks at him so sadly.
Yeah.
It's like just staring at you through the window, like, oh my God. I
Yeah.
can't. Okay, it just makes me so sad.
Was that your number one moment as well?
Yes. That was my absolute number one. I will never forget it. It's going to be burned in my mind, and I'm just going to think about it every time I leave my dog just to like go to work.
Oh, and he's such a cute dog too. It makes
I
it all the
know.
worse.
It's like a big doodle or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, those are all the notes I had today because I
Um,
have no brain right now.
yeah, I don't have a ton more, but I
Yeah.
do want to comment that I do think this was kind of the funnest and one of the more clever wink wink subtle title drops when Mackie is explaining to Jamie Dornan's character, you know what the difference between you and I is? Random events, chance and luck,
Yeah. I love
synchronicity.
that line. That was such a good line in general.
Yeah. And his
I
time travel's just been reinforcing that thought in his brain.
yeah, it was good. I liked that a lot. Uh, see if
I
there's
do kind of wish during that scene he might have pushed the privilege element a little bit more. Having gone through so much time travel, uh,
mm,
he would see white privilege firsthand after
yeah,
pretty much everyone who wasn't in the Ice Age trying to arrest and or kill him.
yeah. He really just ended up in like really shit um situations with everybody. It's like everything was just a like even like the white people, he didn't run into like really any well-to-do people.
Yeah.
Noticed. It was just like your average Joe kind of. Which makes
Kind of.
sense,
Yeah.
but at the same time it was like I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
But I think that that kind of sells what we're talking about though,
Mm,
because he's not running into, you know, your Rockefellers, Bill
mm,
Gates types. He's seeing your average Joes and Janes of each time period, reflective of what society is.
yeah. And it's more I think it's probably more accurate that way because but I haven't really studied a whole lot of history, so I don't know like how affluent were the majority or like how words.
No, I think you're
You know
getting
what
it
I
right.
mean?
Yeah, affluent.
My brain is fried. I have not been sleeping well. Sorry.
No, you were getting it right. Yeah, none of these people were really affluent. Let's see, we had
Yeah.
the hunter in the Ice Age, we had
Well,
the
yeah, but I mean like
conquistador.
in real history, like the ratio between like your average person and the affluent people, like with the likelihood of you picking a spot in time and running into an affluent person. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, I guess never mind. The movie does kind of cover it because different spaces project you to different spaces in time too.
Yeah. But don't really entirely understand how that would work. Like, how would a different space be a different time?
I
I
think
don't know.
it's their way of accounting for physics and astronomy because we're all spinning through space and you can
Uh,
only
can consider
travel
me in that.
you can only
Huh.
travel back to a specific point in time to still be on Earth.
That's that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Like astronomy would definitely play into that then.
Yeah, but then it's a chemist who just makes DMT who did this.
Yeah,
So
very confusing.
yeah,
There's a lot more science in this movie than I understand. I should probably get my brother in here one of these times and like, because he's a physicist, so he can be like, the
do
science
it.
on this is wrong.
I
But
I I love talking science, even though I'm definitely more of a literary guy.
were you a science kid?
Absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't continue on with it. I sucked at algebra and chem. So, but I always loved like biology and space stuff. So,
Yeah. I really like space. I studied a little bit of astronomy in college, but didn't go very far.
yeah.
It was just an elective. Anyway, is there any more points that you wanted to make on Synchronic?
Let's see. No, I covered the big things. Privilege, uh, time travel, grass is always greener. They're both
Yeah,
everybody just always wants to time travel because they think their things can be one step better. But
yeah.
I guess that might be another theme of the movie is both of these men could have had slightly better, more functional lives if they just relaxed and paid attention to what they had.
They made different choices.
Yeah.
It's like so much of life is just dependent on the choices that we make
Yeah.
and like the risks we're willing to take.
And still, like large portions are completely out of our control. Like they're talking about, it's all
Hmm. Yeah,
synchronicity.
yep. This is like the random spot in time. But also there's like because Mackie was like sorry. Because he is black, it's like wherever he goes in time, like our history is just like, especially in Louisiana, it's just horrible. So, but if anybody else goes back in time, it might suck, but it might not suck as bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just kind of reiterated exactly what we were talking about before. I don't even know what
Well, that's okay. That's
I'm telling you, my brain is.
that's just
I've,
showing that the themes are conveyed
but
clearly.
they're poignant, like they're very on the mark. Like every, like I don't know. I think that's probably the biggest one that I noticed is
Yeah.
probably the racial aspect to it.
Yeah, especially in the final two acts, it
Yeah,
definitely played up the racial elements a lot more. There was a little bit in the beginning when that cop kind of jerked him around, like you dressed like Tupac,
yeah, yeah.
but
I didn't really like that.
no, no. I'm
I
just
don't
saying
really,
that was really the only
yeah,
part I can think of in the first act that really played into race.
yeah, but I don't really understand why he was in that outfit initially. Like,
Oh,
what was the backstory on that? I don't
oh, it
think that.
was it was just a blink and you miss it line. He was hungover coming from a hookups place and he stole
Oh,
her shirt instead of his uniform.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's literally it.
I did catch. I think I caught the end of it, and I must not have heard the first part of it, but I did hear it was in her closet or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it was. It's just stole his hookup shirt, left for work in a hurry.
And then he took off his jacket and then gave it to the other guy.
Yeah.
That was very interesting interaction, and that was just like weird, but I think that really showed their relationship and their friendship.
Yeah. I yeah. Have you seen Benson and Moorhead, any of their other films?
I saw Resolution.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what else they've done.
Uh they've done Sure. The Endless, which is also really good. It's kind of a semi-sequel to Resolution.
No, I didn't see the Endless.
Did you see
Um,
Spring?
I remember the I remember the title. I
That's
don't
got
think I've actually watched it yet. I think that was
okay.
on Watch.
Yeah, I think it's on Shudder. It's kind of a horror romance, kind of an inverse shape
Yeah,
of water.
I think you're right. I might have actually watched it, and I think that might have been the one I didn't like.
Yeah, that one's not my favorite, but I definitely liked Endless and Resolution. And I
Mm,
think those two really show that they're good at showing pairings and bonds.
yeah.
Uh, just subtle connections, just through little actions, like you talk about the coat.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't remember Resolution very clearly because I watched it a long time ago before I made one of my own films. It was kind of one of my inspirations for it.
Yeah,
Um, but it was not like directly. It was just something that I watched to get me into the mood to make the film that I was working on. But I don't remember. That was the one where they're in the there's like a single room kind of thing.
yeah,
Is
it
that
was kind of like a one-room cabin, basically,
yeah. Yeah.
trying to get this guy through detox.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that. So they have like a drug theme going, definitely.
Yeah,
Like in in a variety of their works. I wonder, I'm not really sure. It is like an anti-drug message, like I thought, but it also like borders on um I don't remember. It borders on like it can be good for you, like it can be helpful and useful, but it can be too much and dangerous, kind of.
yeah, it's kind of this Lovecraftian thing. The drug's
Yeah,
kind of a gateway to Lovecraftian knowledge, you know.
or like Faustian.
Yeah, Faustian might be a better way of describing it.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. I didn't really think about that before, like with resolution, but now thinking about it after seeing Synchronic, that's it's very interesting.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's not. Oh, that's what it was. I was gonna say there was a movie I thought would be a perfect like double feature with this. Speaking of drug movies and whatnot, I thought Banshee Chapter would make a great double feature with this.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Oh, that's another one kind of based off the MK Ultra project.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and it's got what's his name? The guy that played Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
Okay. I
Uh,
don't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about.
he pretty much plays Hunter S. Thompson in all but name.
Mm.
Um, basically, the movie is a found footage documentary style movie about this gal looking for her missing friend who went missing after trying a drug, and it turns out to be a government experiment to try and contact beings in other dimensions.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah.
So when you think about synchronic and kind of think about the context of like government stuff, because even though government's not really involved in synchronic, but do you feel like that the directors are touching on any of our current events in this film?
Actually, uh, I think the government may have been involved in
Mhm.
Synchronic. Uh, not to sound like a conspiracy nut stoner here, but uh, there's another blink and you miss it line in the bar where he's watching the news and
Mhm.
they're misreporting the death of the chemist.
Yeah. There's so much in this movie. It's awesome. They did
Oh,
a
it,
really good job. Like, fascinating.
so I totally think that's them kind of taking a jab at Trump and fake news and misinformation.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Interesting. So, we've
And
been
it kind
on
of,
here.
oh,
What? Go ahead.
oh, I just wanted to wrap up the thought and say, and I just kind of thought that little one line on top of being great little world building just added a nice little extra element of spookiness to the story.
Yeah,
Because
they're
not
really good
only is there a
characters.
time travel drug, but there might be a government conspiracy that's kind of mucking things up.
Yeah, and the scientist even says like a few things like this job paid more than the teaching job or something like that.
Yeah,
And it's just like there's just little hints of layers just on top of each other. So there's so much more into this film than just like the surface level
yeah, it
uh
really is.
story, which is great.
And I'm definitely going to want to rewatch to just kind of see if I can peel back the layers more.
Yeah, like I didn't even think about so much of it until like we started talking. I was like, yes, now that I think about that, that is also something that happened.
Yeah,
Let's see. Trying to check my stuff. So we've been streaming for 26 minutes. Uh, I know there's only two of us, so we don't have a whole lot to say probably. But if there's any other notes you want to make, go for it.
let's check really quick. Yeah, I'm just I'm just looking over the plot synopses for their movies really quick. And yeah, just like I said, I know I kind of was on it earlier. Um, Regardless of how it ends, any of these stories end, Benson and Moorhead are real big on trying.
Hmm.
On surface level, a lot of their movies seem kind of nihilistic, I think.
Hmm.
Like nothing really matters, but they they really seem to emphasize the importance of trying and connecting with people, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate that theme.
I'm just looking at their posters for Spring, The Endless, and Resolution, and each one of them is focusing on two people. So
Yeah,
it's everything they do seems to have to deal exactly with relationships and your
that's why I wanted to
connection.
bring up that they're good at like pairings and duets.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just, and then the fact that they are also a pair of creators who work as a pair. It's like that theme just carries on through all of their work
Yeah,
and their lives. So it's very interesting.
and it's remarkable that they're continuing on like this, so
Yeah.
strong, in my opinion. I don't really see it. You don't see it a lot in the filmmaking community if they're not like family.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think of the Duplass brothers
Mm, yeah. Or the
when I
Soska
think of
sisters.
yeah, um, Coen brothers,
Yep.
the Wachowski sisters,
Yep.
but they're all family. These two seem to, at least at a professional level, have a strong, strong relationship that they can both throw into their work.
Yeah. I want to know, do you know how they met or know each other?
No, not offhand.
Hmm.
Mainly familiar with them through their work.
Yeah. It looks like they've really only done the features together.
And then I heard they are due to work on
Oh no, they
Moon Knight
haven't.
together,
Oh yeah. I see they are both working on that. I wish you could look at IMDb and like look at pairs.
right?
Like that would
Like
make so much sense.
correlate the data together.
Yeah, maybe I should make my own site.
Do it.
No, there's another one that does this. I think it's just called the movie database,
Oh yeah,
not the internet movie database, but
yeah.
the other one.
TMDB.
Yeah,
Letterbox gets all their data from there.
right. Do they do anything where you can like pick people who work together a lot?
Um, they kind of do some of it automatically,
Mm.
but
Like
it's kind of
Letterbox
limited.
kind of has a way to look at that, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Um, I see they also produced, well, I didn't see it till this year, but it was a really great movie from last year, After Midnight.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, that one I just say is a straight up romance movie that happens to feature monster attacks every 20 minutes. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, it's directed by, written, and starring Jeremy Gardner. He's a really wonderful newer indie actor who's been in a lot of great stuff in the last 5 years.
I'm
If
looking at
you, he's got a lot of fantastic comedic talent, but he really shows his dramatic chops in After Midnight, which is also on Shudder.
Oh, I need to watch more Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder's got a bunch of good stuff.
I do watch it, but it's just like one of the ones that don't I don't know, I just don't gravitate towards that one automatically. Like if I'm on my TV, I just go to Netflix, just like default.
Yeah, I think
Which
that's
is
how a
like
lot of people are programmed these days. So
is just like I think I'd rather use Shudder sometimes, but I just don't.
Shudder is definitely better when it comes for horror. Anyways,
Yeah, oh yeah, well, obviously.
yeah,
I
but
was I was
oh,
looking
go ahead.
at Jeremy Gardner and I thought he was in something, but I don't see him on it. I don't see that in there.
He's been in a couple of horror things. The Battery was really good.
I don't think
Oh
I
yeah,
can
he was
find
also in Spring.
him.
I forgot he was in Spring.
Maybe that is what I saw. I'll have to watch the trailer later and see if I actually watched that. Anyway, enough of my rambling of crap.
Yeah,
This
I'm out of notes at this point. I'm
I
just
am
kind of
well,
jumping from whatever I can think of related to it.
yeah. This was just a casual chat this time because one, there's only two of us. Two, I have had zero time to really prepare for a whole lot of stuff because of everything going on in life. So, how are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing all right. Doing much better.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think I'm gonna end the stream here.
All right.
Um,
And looking forward to next episode.
yes, the next episode is
Cecil be demented.
yay, one of my absolute favorite movies.
Same
So
here.
so much of my favorite that I named my stage name for Sideshow after the main character.
Oh, and I've already converted two friends to watching it before the episode, so
Are they
I'm
gonna join
excited.
us?
I'm gonna make them.
Are they gonna join us in
Oh, in
the
chat.
Discord or in chat? That'd be
Oh,
awesome.
I could invite them. Yeah,
Uh,
if you wanted me to.
I mean, that's fine. I just need the sign up sheet. You can put them in the Discord. It's
Okay.
just I don't know, things are just kind of very casual right now. I just want to vet people a little bit before they come on. That's all.
Completely understandable.
There's a lot of crazy people out there who just want to say mean things and I'm not for that.
Especially these days.
Yeah, like no, it's just not
No,
happening. So
I just want to talk movies and
that's what
deeper analysis. I
hmm,
just like to geek out about movies.
yes. Oh, one thing that I didn't ask that I usually ask in all of these is what was your favorite shot?
Ooh, favorite shot. Honestly, it's gonna sound weird, but the Ice Age stuff really stuck with me. When he's just
That was
sitting by the
gorgeous.
fire and the camera just pans over and wham. Oh, there's a mammoth there.
Yeah, the
He went
mammoth
that
and
far
like
back.
yeah. So like that scene in particular, me thinking about it, like watching him react to the fact that there's a mammoth, he's just like, oh, interesting. And he's like, that's really cool that I'm experiencing this, but also I am terrified.
But also, I kind of just got a plant here. I don't
Yeah,
want to mess up the experiment anymore.
yeah. Just very like I just really it just he seemed so natural in his role. It
Yeah.
just felt it was good. I loved it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I really, if that is to be our final closing comments, Mackie was amazing in this.
he was phenomenal. I really loved it.
Honestly,
Um,
you could feel his pain and how tired
yeah,
his character was supposed to be by the end of the movie.
I wonder if he just stayed up all night long to like
Maybe.
really get into that. But I don't think so. I think he's just that good.
Or he just partied. Just so he had a perpetual hangover.
Yeah, I doubt it. He's probably very professional.
He probably is.
Anyway, on that note, that is the end of our stream, and we will see you next time for Cecil B. Demented. I don't know what the date is for that uh calendar. The 27th.
Okay, I was gonna say probably towards the tail end of next month.
Yes, June 27th at 6 p.m. Pacific is Cecil B. Demented, which I have seen hundreds of times, and I will probably still have nothing to say because I will have had a horse for a month and I'll probably be dead. I don't know.
I
We'll
will
find out.
have a zillion and three things to say because I also love the movie.
Stay tuned to see if I'm alive.
Tune in next time for Kino's PCB or funeral stream. Find out next month.
I will be in my straitjacket though. Anyway, that's the end. Goodbye.